Hi, this is Gina Versa. I am here with Greg Baldwin, voice actor of many great characters.
I thank you. I thank you.
And we're at Ontario Comic Con Revolution.
Revolution in
Yes.
Ontario, California.
How are you doing today, Greg?
Today is the first day that I have cosplayed Uncle Iroh. And I have wanted to do this for the moment I started attending cons. Because I share certain similarities with Uncle Iroh. And it's going great. I'm loving wearing this costume. What I always wanted to happen, I was walking around the big hall over there, and I wanted to originally, I just want to cosplay my character. I thought that would be fun. And I'm doing just that. I'm walking around just like a cosplay person, just walking around, and I hear someone say, "Hey, Uncle Iroh." Oh, hello. And I hear behind me somebody goes, "That is Uncle Iroh." So my work here is done. That's why I wanted the costume, and I've got I had that moment.
Of course, yeah, I love it. It came great. How's it been interacting with some of the fans that just really grew up with this character of Uncle Iroh?
The fans, I always knew from the moment I was reading, and again, I was a fan of the show before I was Uncle Iroh because Mako Iwamatsu was the original Iroh. But I always knew it was a beautiful character, had beautiful things to say, beautifully written. But it wasn't until I started coming to these cons that I realized the impact that Iroh had. I'm literally a generation. He is literally, I joked to my wife the other day, she said, "Greg, take out the trash." Take out the trash. I am the beloved father figure to an entire generation. She's like, yeah, I took out the trash. But the character has impacted people's lives. People, time and again, they will come up to me and they'll say, "Oh man, Uncle Iroh, I was in a high school and this happened and my girlfriend broke up with me, or there was this tragedy and Iroh said this wise thing and made me feel better." And I hear that again and again and again. And I realized this character had a real impact on people's lives. He's not just an entertaining cartoon that 20 minutes later is done. This character has impact, and I'm honored and humbled that I get to do this.
Yeah, I think he's a meaningful character, and he's wise, and he's taught young kids who are now adults many lessons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, there's a meme, I've seen it. It's like be the person Uncle Iroh knows you are. And I love that meme, and it even applies to myself sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, as I said, I'll be, hey, Greg, when Uncle Iroh tweets that, maybe you need to think before you do that. What would Iroh do? So it's been, yes, Iroh helps me as well in my day-to-day living. He's a wise. Honestly, you literally could take the sayings of Iroh and you could almost build a religion around it. So yeah, it's been an honor to play such an impactful character.
Yeah, no, stepping into the character's shoes, he has such rich history. Do you have to put yourself in a certain mindset, or?
It's easy as pie. And it's only because, my journey that has led me from Spring, Texas to dressed up as Uncle Iroh today is an interesting journey. And oddly enough, it has to do with a musical by Stephen Sondheim.
Oh, okay.
Called Pacific Overtures, which starred Mako Iwamatsu. Came out in 1977. I think my parents gave me this album for my birthday. I loved this musical. I sang along with it. I could sing the whole score for you now. You don't want to, but I could. And so at the end of the day, when Mako sadly passed in 2006, I had literally been doing an impression of him for 30 years. So to find Mako, all I have to do is go back to Pacific Overtures and the very opening lines, and I do them, "Nippon, the floating kingdom." And it's as easy as finding that line. If I can find that line, I can find Mako.
Yeah. And, Mako was such a great actor. I love all his roles. And, yeah, just, him in that musical is also...
Well, that's the wonderful, and it actually has helped me because I knew that I was stepping into some shoes that are impossibly large for me to fill. And it has served me well, I think, to let people know at the very outset, you're not Mako. And I will say, well, no, of course I'm not Mako. Mako was nominated for Academy Award for Sand Pebbles. Mako was nominated for Tony Award. Mako started the first Asian American theater company in the United States. There's no way I'm Mako. But I know Mako, and I have nothing but respect for the things he did, and so I will try my best to do my job. which is to keep these characters going because he's no longer here to voice them for us.
Yeah, and just switching gears here, because just the way you honored him in season 5 of Samurai Jack, I was just really appreciative of your Aku. He was great that season because I don't think I've ever seen a villain who goes to therapy with himself.
He was a very, and I don't especially like my performance in that scene, but I love the way the scene is written because it's so not the Aku that you come to know. And I think I even said to Gendy, I said, because he had one of the lines I think is, "Oh, that was the old Aku. This is the new Aku." And I actually said to Gendy, "Is that supposed to be sort of a sly in joke?" And he said, "No," because I was like, "Oh, that was the old Aku. This is the new Aku, ladies and gentlemen. Hello." So, Aku, again, going back to Mako's work, and that's the beauty of those two characters. It's the same voice, but it's two separate characters. It's light and dark, it's good and evil. And to go from Uncle Iroh, who's very calm and hello, come and have a cup of tea with me, to Aku, who will kill you in a minute. It's fun,
Yeah.
It's great fun.
And for such an evil character, he's pretty fun, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say of all the characters that I've ever voiced or played on stage or on camera, it's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's because it's just fun. It's just fun to do,
Yeah. And how is it like working with Gendy?
Well, first of all, it's terrifying because Gendy is Gendy, and he's a genius.
Yes.
Once I became less terrified of him, he's Gendy Tartakovsky. He's a genius. He was, which is very, very odd for the creator of a show to actually be the voice director, and he was great. I always tell the story. It's fairly common for them to send you the script and the storyboards when you're going in to record. And it was the first episode of Samurai Jack, and I said, okay, well, I'll print out these storyboards. A whole ream of paper for a 22-minute episode. That's the attention to detail that Gendy pays to his projects.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's just the art and
the art of it.
I
read somewhere, or someone told me that you could literally freeze frame any frame from all of Samurai Jack, just freeze it, and hang that on your wall as art, because it really is that beautiful.
Yeah, and the last shot of the series is so beautiful with him on that. I believe it's a cherry blossom.
It's a cherry blossom,
yes.
And he sees the ladybug that reminds him of Ashi. But as I also say, the ladybug is also, Aku colors. Maybe Aku is back. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
He seemed a little easy to kill, I thought,
Yeah. And just wrapping up here, Greg, where can listeners find you at on social media?
At Greg Baldwin Iroh. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. And I think Facebook, I'm just Greg Baldwin. I'm just plain old Greg Baldwin. Yeah, I'm on Twitter, probably more than I should be.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Greg.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Really
It was my pleasure. Anytime.
Cool.